Hi, sorry. My name is Peniel and I'm Ghanaian. My name is Peniel. I'm Ghanaian. I study software engineering and I'm in my first year.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing. And I hear there's some folks online with your hands raised. If you want to unmute yourself and contribute, you're very welcome. Does anyone online want to share?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
All right, thank you. My name is Francesca Ikondo. I'm a final year student. I'm studying BL and specializing in policy and advocacy.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you for sharing. Does anyone else want to share?
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Oh. Mhm.
Okay, my name is Innocent Nanga. I'm a Ghanaian and I'm in my second year and software engineer.
Oh, fantastic. So a lot of software engineers in the room. How many of you are software engineering? Ooh, okay. I see you. Delightful. That's very helpful to know. How many of you are actually from Rwanda? Fantastic. And all of you are from the continent here? Wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing. That helps me a lot. To give you a little insight, I'll share what I do. Uh, our program, Education USA, is one, as I said, of many US embassy programs. And we have centers in 180 countries. We have about 550 advisors. And so we have advising presence in every country you've mentioned so far. I'm really blessed to be joined today by my advisor, Louis Pascal. Hey. He works here at the embassy to help students who might be thinking of studying in the US. And there's a few different programs that the embassy offers. Our program is specifically for students who want to go for a full degree program. And so we'll share with you a little bit about that. If that's not your dream, we can tell you how you can access some other embassy programs as well. But have any of you ever thought of studying in the US? Thought about it? Yeah. As a software engineer, would you continue with software engineering or would there be a different program you're interested in? Yeah. Yeah. Well, she was responding. What were you saying? You're not sure. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, my name is Saduf Mathiang. I'm from South Sudan. So if I get a chance to study in the US, I would definitely choose a different program.
Sure. Do
Yeah.
you have in mind what you might do?
Yeah, nutrition.
Nutrition. Oh, totally different program. Okay. Fantastic. One great benefit of US study is we're very open for people to change their mind. And there's also many opportunities to combine things that aren't necessarily combined in a program. If you have a software engineering background and a background in nutrition, I bet you could create a startup company combining those two things. Have anyone else thought of studying in the US? Yeah. What were you thinking about studying?
Hey everyone, my name is Ganji Jospin. I'm currently doing software engineering. So basically, it was always software. I thought of continuing software engineering and to specialize in mechanical engineering.
Sure. That's fantastic. I worked at a primarily engineering school for many years. And what I know to be certain in the US is the first 2 years of engineering are the same, no matter what type of engineering you take. It's primarily chemistry and physics and calculus, and then we specialize. So for those of you who are interested you're in software, maybe mechanical, you want to combine those things, it's very possible within the US. Yeah, wonderful. Well, the reason that we support students to study abroad is we think it's a really great way to build friendship, right? We call it public diplomacy, but it's friendship that we want students to come and have a wonderful experience. And then when you go home, you can talk about the things that you've learned, right? And so one of the big missions of Education USA is helping students find the right fit. So can anyone tell me a guess of how many colleges and universities there are that are accredited in the US? Any number is fine. Do you have just a guess? 40,000. That's actually high. Thank you for going first. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. That's actually also high. Oh, you guys are great. Usually I get much lower. What do you think? Exactly. Yes, there's exactly 4,000 accredited colleges and universities. So when we talk to students, we realize your best fit institution is probably one you've never heard of, right? And so Education USA exists to help students who say, I want to go to the US, but I've only ever heard of maybe 3 to 10 schools, 20 if you're really paying attention, but there's so much more to it and there's so many more options. And that is why we have advisors like Louis Pascal to help you understand the process if that's what you want to do. And as Education USA, we have a standard model. We decided this is a mini session, so I'm not going to go through every piece of this with you. But what we try to do is teach students about the 5-step process of studying in the US. So the first step is how to do the research. How do you go from 4,000 institutions to the right one for someone with a software engineering background who wants a master's in nutrition, right? There's a great school for you, but you might need help finding it. And so we can help show you how to do that research to make sure that you end up at the right institution. One piece of that, of course, is cost. Some institutions have really generous funding, some don't. Some are less expensive to start with than others. There's different states and different opportunities depending on which institutions you're looking at and what's important to you. And so Louis Pascal does sessions to help students learn how to research those options based on what you need and not what are the US institutions you've heard of before? Have you heard of any institutions in the US to study at? MIT, sure. Yeah. Hey, I used to work there. Embry-Riddle, correct. Yeah, lovely. Western New England, okay. How about you? Say again? Yale, sure. And you? Pennsylvania State, absolutely. How about you? Western? Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Can you say louder? Yes. Okay, I'm actually very proud of all of you because sometimes I only hear MIT, Stanford, Harvard, Yale, right? You're already way further on your journey than some students because you're paying attention. And I hope that means you might be open to other institutions that can support you. I will tell you a lot of US colleges and universities are visiting Rwanda these days. So if you do have that interest, another thing that the US Embassy can do is tell you when people are visiting so you can meet directly with their representatives and see if it's a good fit for you. Yeah. The second step that we use is money, right? How do you know if you can afford an institution? What does that look like for you? And some people I might say, how much can your family afford? And it might be zero. It might be 5,000. It might be 10,000 a year. But whatever that looks like, it really helps us help you find the right institution. One thing that's very exciting at US institutions for graduate students. So if you graduate and then come to the US, instead of scholarships, we have something called assistantships. Does anyone know what an assistantship is? What is it? Would you mind sharing?
Okay, they are more like students, maybe researcher positions or reader positions, where you work with professors, and then you get things like fee remissions or stipends as well, so you don't have to like pay the school fees themselves.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, they were right that you all are very bright students. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, so there's three types of assistantships. You can study and do research with a professor to support them, and they can give you fee remission. You can teach classes as a master's student for, say, first year students. So if you're software engineers, you might teach physics 101 or chemistry 101, right? So that perhaps your tuition is remitted. And there's also service assistantships, which is what I did. I oversaw the housing for all of the freshman students at my graduate school. And in exchange, I got tuition remission, but also free housing and a stipend. And so it really made education affordable for me. So as a graduate student, we might be able to help you identify some spaces in which you could significantly reduce the cost of a graduate education in the US. And then the third step we help with is how to complete your application. I know the US, the applications are a little bit different than they might be here in Rwanda. So one thing that we help you do is navigate, do you need to take exams like the GRE? Do you need to submit proof of language proficiency based on where you've studied in the past? Those types of questions are something that we can help you with to make sure you're successful as you apply. We can also explain to you the visa process. I'll say we aren't the visa officers. That's a different department at the embassy, but we can explain to you how that process works. And then we also offer free pre-departure orientation at the embassy, where all students who get visas can come for free and meet with Louis Pascal and others at the embassy. So you can first meet other students going to the US, and you can also ask any culture questions you might have. So you're really prepared before you go to campus. And so this next slide, I just wanted to let you know we have a handout with links for each of these steps that could help you through the process. I've asked Louis Pascal to email it to anyone who's interested. So at the end, I will share his email address, and you can just email him and say, hey, please send me that handout. And he'd be happy to do that. And so I hate talking at students. I used to be a teacher in a previous life, and I'd far rather hear from you what your questions are. Are there any questions that we can answer for you about the program that we're running, or questions about US education? Yeah, go ahead.
So let's say a student has already like gotten an admission. Do you have like any offerings for that student as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, really, that I think if you don't understand the visa process, you can reach out and say, how does that work? And we can help you. And then that pre-departure orientation is also something we would love for you to join us for. So, we'll put together a program for you to help understand US academic culture. You're already doing great because contributing and conversation is really valuable in US education, but that program is really helpful for you. And then oftentimes, if you're willing, when you come back from your program, we love to highlight your voice. So if you're willing to talk to other students like I'm doing now, we'd love to hear back from alumni. So there's a lot of touch points for students who already have admission. We'd be happy to help you with.
Thank you. I think I have another question.
Oh, please. I love it.
Okay, so I studied here in Rwanda, and then there's Education USA in Nigeria. So am I qualified to apply for like the same programs, so join the same programs in Education USA Nigeria, or do I have to do everything here in Rwanda since I studied and graduated here?
That's a great question. EduUSA serves all qualified students, regardless of where you are. So I usually say go to the center that's closer to you because it's easy, but you'd be very welcome to contact EduUSA in Nigeria as well. We have 6 wonderful advisors in Nigeria that I work with closely still. What city in Nigeria are you from?
Lagos.
One of our most senior advisors on the continent is based out of Lagos, and she runs some really great programs, including an admissions boot camp before you apply and a great pre-departure orientation. So if you're home in Nigeria before you come, she would love to connect with you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sure. Oh, okay. Let's take the one in the back and then we can shift online.
Hi, my name is Pascaline, and I have a question. Like, do you charge for application fees when someone is applying?
That's a great question. So let me answer it a little differently. Education USA does not charge anything, but some universities that you apply to will. And so we can give you information about what the application fees look like at those institutions, but some institutions are willing to offer application fee waivers and some are not. So really, we're the knowledge source that we can help you find the information, but the institution sets the policy on what tuition is, what scholarships are, and on application fees. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to get to you right out. He said someone raised their hand online first, so that, and then I'll come to you. Does anyone online want to unmute themselves and ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
What is your question?
Good afternoon. So I am Khadija. I'm from the Gambia, but I'm studying in Rwanda. So my question is, what are some of the qualifications that one needs? Because in my country, I studied, I was in the college. I studied environmental studies. That is for 3 years, HTC. So I'm wondering, should I use those documents or I should use my maybe grade 12 documents and all of that? That is my first question. And the second question is for departure and everything. Are you the one to sponsor yourself or the USA would sponsor you? And how many years is the studies, if I may ask? Thank you.
Great questions. First, all US institutions will want to see a transcript from all of your courses of study. So if you have transcripts, say, from Nigeria and Rwanda, they'll want to see both of them. And so if you're applying, you'll want to use all of your documents for people to see your full education history. And for most master's degree programs in the US, they're usually 2 years. There are some exceptions. There's a few accelerated business programs that might be 1 year, and there's a few specialty programs that might be 3, but say the vast majority of programs are 2 years. Does that answer all of your questions?
Yeah, sure, it does. And what about the sponsorship? Like for you to depart and all of that, is it fully funded or you're the one to take care of that?
Yeah, it's a good question. So funding sources, some students pay for themselves. In fact, many students, so they'll show that they can afford the course of study, usually with a bank statement. But if you were to receive a scholarship or an assistantship from the institution, the amount of money you need to show would be less the amount of the scholarship or assistantship. So we send students a document called an I-20. Well, the schools will send to you and it will show the total cost of attendance and then different lines of where the funding is coming from. So it might say scholarship, 10,000, family funding, 10,000. And if that's the case, then you would have to show the portion that's left over for your funding. And so one thing that's important for everyone to know, the funding doesn't come from the US government, it comes directly from institutions. And so it's up to the institution what they offer. But we often ask US institutions to tell us if they have funding available for international students so that we can share that with you as well. Does that fully answer it? Yeah, thank you. And thanks for the question. So I think I'll take one more from the student sitting in front of me and I'll go back to the other 2 hands that are raised on screen. What was your question?
All right. I wanted to ask, how successful is your program overall?
That's a great question. So, Education USA supports international students in 180 countries. And you might know the US is still the #1 receiver of international students by more than double anywhere else in the world. So, I'm really happy to see that students are still excited about studying in the US. And I know that we have some really great programs available. So, we weigh the success of our program on whether or not students are successful. If you come looking for a program and we can help you successfully realize your dream, we're doing great work. Last year, there was 1.1 million international students that came to the US, and there was over 56,000 students just from sub-Saharan Africa. So on that measure, I feel like we're doing pretty good. Sub-Saharan Africa has been the second fastest growing region in the world 2 years in a row. So 2 years ago, 18% more students went to the US, and last year, 13% more than that. And so I think that highlights the fact that if students are interested, we're able to help them, and institutions are really interested in you. So I regularly host colleges and universities from the US, and they're always calling me and saying, how do I find great students in Rwanda or Nigeria or Kenya? We really want them on our campus. So I think that's successful also. Yeah, thanks for the question. And the next hand up online, would you like to ask a question?
Hello, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I didn't mention in the first question answer that I did. So I'm from Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, and then there I had like support from the Education USA based in Ivory Coast with Miss Nina Toyo from Education USA when I was preparing my SAT. And now that I'm in Rwanda and I don't know much about the program and what else you provide as support, except from what you said, and that I'm preparing my GRE test, I was wondering what kind of support you provide for test preparation, especially for the GRE test, which is one that I'm interested in now.
Yeah, fantastic. And I'm so happy to know you know Nina Toyo. She's one of our close colleagues. We have a lot of testing resources at the American Center that's based at the US Embassy. I was just here to review those resources, and we definitely have GRE prep books that you're welcome to come and use. And maybe Louis Pascal, do you want to talk a little bit more about GRE prep here in Rwanda?
Yeah, we have some centers in Rwanda that help students prepare for these tests. But as we just said, we have a ton of resources at the American Center, at the US Embassy, Kigali. So we encourage you to come and visit our center. It's free of charge. We operate from Monday to Thursday from 9 to 4 p.m. And I can also connect you with centers across Kigali that will help you to prepare for these tests. Thank you.
Thank you.
I had a follow-up question. So I was wondering, since you said Monday to Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, is there like a registration form before entering? Because in my country, we do register at the enter before getting in the embassy. So is it the same system, or is there another system where we have to maybe register online to know that we are coming? And then I was wondering, because back then we have some volunteer available at the US Embassy office that were there to help us prepare for the tests. So I was wondering if this is also available here.
It's a great question. Louis Pascal, can you talk about the process for students entering the embassy for the American Center?
The embassy is open, as I said, from Monday to Thursday. I mean, embassy, US Embassy Kigali, from 9 to 4. And
so she's saying in Cote d'Ivoire, they have to do a registration in advance.
You don't need any registration. You just come in. But For sessions like advising sessions that I conduct with students, I do one-on-one advising sessions, and I also do group sessions. So if you need any of those, you need to register. I mean, you need to write me an email or send me a WhatsApp message before you come. But otherwise, if you are coming for using the resources, the books, the computers, everything in the American Center, you can come anytime. You don't need any preparation. I mean, any registration.
Okay. Another question, sorry. I know that some embassy doesn't allow electronic devices in. So is that the same as well? So can I get in with my laptop or no?
They're allowed to bring their laptop in.
No, you are not allowed to bring in your laptop and phone. Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe for the audience in Kigali, we are having a local organization that prepares students to go for studies in the US, which is called iDebate. Yeah, so they can also help you. They are using our funds. We are funding them to do this kind of work. So yeah, this is also an opportunity for students in Kigali to access those services for free. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for the answers. It would be nice to get your contact so that we can like have more discussion about that, how to process further.
Absolutely. And the last slide, I don't know, can folks online, you can see my screen as well? For any of the people online, are you also seeing the slideshow with us?
Yes, we do.
Fantastic. So on the next slide, I'll share Louis Pascal's contact information so you can reach out to him if you want advising sessions as well. Yeah, and I'll take maybe one more online and then I'll see if there's other questions in the in-person audience. Is there another person on screen that wanted to ask a question?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, my name is Yahya. I'm from Morocco, and I'm joining from the Mauritian campus. And I was wondering, does the assistance also reach the Mauritian campus or Mauritius as a country?
Yes. In fact, one of our star advisors, his name is Iqbal, is based at the US Embassy there in Port Louis, and he has a really wonderful program as well. On the last slide, I'll give you his contact information. So any students who are in Mauritius who want support, he actually did his PhD in the US in curriculum instruction and design. So he and his wife both did this exact process, and he's really happy to work with students who are interested in going abroad for master's studies or PhDs.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Just have a quick question. I was wondering, how long in advance should we begin the process? Like how long before our graduation?
That's a great question. Usually we recommend at least 18 months. So as you're starting to think about it, even 2 years in advance, it can be really helpful for you, particularly for PhD students. A big component of a US doctoral program is reading research that the professors are doing, because it's the professors who decide if you get in or not. And they want students who are interested in similar research as them. So that's a key component, and it takes some time. But for masters, you may or may not need to do that, but the processes like potentially taking tests can take time. So earlier is always better. And so if you're even starting to think about it in your first or second year, we'd love to start the conversation with you to make sure you're prepared when the time comes.
Thank you. I appreciate your help.
Absolutely. And any more questions here in person? Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. I was wondering, does Education USA put in a good word for students to universities?
It's a great question. Sometimes institutions will ask if you've worked with Education USA and we're able to confirm that you've worked with us, but we won't usually write letters of recommendation because they want that directly from your school. One thing that we do know is students who work with Education USA tend to be better prepared than students who haven't worked with us and gotten that direct information. And we see institutions will tell us that they know that students have worked with us based on how high quality their application is. So you're also very welcome to share with them that you've consulted with us and you're working with us on your application, and that can help at least them know that you have necessary information for coming to the US. Great question. Did I see there was one in the back as well? Yeah.
There is a visa ban on some countries, so I need to know if it affects students applying for graduate programs in the US.
It's a great question. There's currently 8 countries that are officially on a visa ban from the US. There's others that are talking about it, but they have not been implemented. So for the ones on the official ban, they wouldn't be able to study in the US at the moment, but that could change in the future. So we continue to support students who are interested. I know some students in those countries are opting to study online instead of in person at the moment, but the other potential discussions that are being happened haven't been implemented yet. So none of the countries that I've heard here are on the official list, but if you're one of those 8 countries.
Ours is partial.
Say again?
Ours is partial.
I hear what you're saying. If it's up to Counselor on what will happen for students from those visa ban countries, if it's a full ban, like Sudan, unfortunately, currently those students aren't able to come, but we will continue to support those students if they want to come in the future. Yeah. Other questions? Is the hand up on screen a new question from the same person, or is it the hand just still raised? Okay, there's something in the chat. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Hello. Just a quick question. In case I'm an undergraduate student, and I want to apply for masters. However, I'm, let's say, in my second year for a 3-year program, but I also happen to have applied experience in the specific field. Is there a way for me to apply a bit earlier, or do I have to first finish, then apply for that?
Great question. So typically in the US, we're only looking at your academic credential. And so you need to complete the credential. That's a conversation to have with your academic folks here on whether or not you can accelerate your program. But if you haven't completed the credential, you wouldn't be able to come. You can apply usually a year in advance before you finish your credential here, but they'll want that completed before you travel.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? I see one up here.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll look at it right after this. Thank you.
The question I have is about the library, which is there at the US Embassy. Do they also work during the public holidays? Because they said they work from 9 to 4, from Monday to Thursday, while we also have classes here at ALU from Monday to Thursday. Do they also work in public holidays so that maybe someone can go there when we don't come here to school, like to use resources like books, there are computers? Yeah.
I will defer to Louis Pascal. I suspect not, but she's asking, is the American Center open on public holidays? No, unfortunately not. But if there is ever a time where you have time off that are still working days for the embassy, you'd be very welcome to join. Yeah. And maybe some more here, and then.
Okay, thank you. I had a question.
Mhm.
Is the mode of communication only by email?
Louis Pascal, what's your preferred method of communication? You have a phone number as well, yeah?
Oh, wait, you can use email, you can use WhatsApp, or you can come face to face. But yeah, it depends on your availability. But I would prefer face to face. That's the Rwandan style. But I use both. Yeah.
And was there any questions that came in advance that we haven't answered yet? Were you looking at that list? Oh, okay. Well, if there are there any other questions here in the room? Yeah.
I wanted to ask, where is the office located in Rwanda, please? In case if you want to go there.
Yeah, it's at the US Embassy. At the US Embassy is where Louis Pascal and our colleagues at American Spaces would meet with you.
So do you need to write a prior email or something to tell them that you are coming, or you just go there?
So you can just go if you want to use the resources at the American Center, but if you want an appointment with Louis Pascal, you should email him. And I will share his contact on the next slide.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And then I saw one more back here. Oh, yes.
Thank you. You said we have to first finish the years that we have here. So I was wondering, do you only work with students that are going for master's degree, or do you still work with students who want to go for undergraduate?
Great question. So we work with all students who are looking to go for higher education. I'm talking about master's studies since you're all currently enrolled in undergraduate. And we hope that you will stay and complete your studies here in the program that you're in. For you to know in general, if students are midway through a program and they try to come to the US midway through, they often lose many of their credits. So usually it's a good idea to complete your current course of study and then come for the next level. But if you have siblings or friends who are still in high school who are looking to go to the US directly from high school, that can also be a great opportunity. And Louis Pascal can help them here in Rwanda. And for folks online, there's advisors in your countries as well. Great question. And then I see another hand up online.
Hello, my name is Bruno Kaitari. So I wanted to ask if to get some information from the institution you want to join or the research, is there any platform you can visit, or you have to reach to the embassy? Yeah.
That's a great question. You don't have to use the embassy. We're here to support you, but US institutions often have really great information directly on their own websites. So if you want to do research, you're very welcome to. You can also reach out directly to the institutions and they'll support you. But we want to make sure you have additional support if you have questions or need help. Does that answer your question?
I was saying, is there any way to reach out to you if maybe we meet some issues while applying?
Yeah, so here I will share this next slide if I can get the slide to advance with Louis Pascal's information. So for folks in Rwanda, you're going to want to connect directly with him. So here, well, it's kind of small. If you can't read it, let us know and we'll make sure that you have his information. Because I knew some of you were also coming from Mauritius, there's contact information for our advisor there as well. And I think we have time for one or two more questions. Is there any final questions that we can answer for you? I see another hand up on screen. Is someone waiting for an answer there?
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello?
What is your question? Hi, we can hear you.
Okay. I wanted to ask if refugees are considered in the same way as other country nationals when applying to the college.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
So I wanted to know if refugees can apply in the same way as and considered in the same way as other nationals, like people who are not refugees.
Yes, absolutely. I see refugees go to the US in a few different ways. One of them is following the exact same process. If you're interested in being a student, to apply for an F1 student visa. So that's the types of visas we work with for education. It is important to know if you're coming on a student visa, it is a non-immigrant visa. So you're not anticipated to stay in the US, and the consular officer might want to chat with you about what your plans are. But some refugees do apply that way, come and study, and then go back. Ooh, do we lose folks? Oh, go back to either their home country if the situation's improved, or wherever they're currently residing when they apply. If a refugee is hoping for an asylum status, that's different than the student visa process. So it depends on your situation as a refugee, which pathway makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And I think I see one more hand up online, so maybe we'll take that as our final question.
So okay, just a quick one. I'm wondering whether you have a branch in the Gambia. Do you have
We
any?
do. We do have an advisor in the Gambia. If you want to send an email to Louis Pascal, I will have him send you the advisor contact information. The other option is we have a website, educationusa.state.gov, and there's a list of all advising centers in the world. If you click on the link that says find an advising center, so we can give you direct contact. And if anyone else is from a country that I haven't addressed, we can get you the contact information, or you can check our website for the local advisor information. Thank you. That was a great question.
Yeah, please, you can share that because I'm currently in the Gambia. So before I leave to Rwanda, I would like to meet the advisor. Thank you.
Fantastic. We'd be happy to put you in touch. And maybe I lied. I see the one last hand up online. So do you want to ask one final question?
Oh yes, it's me again, sorry. So I was wondering because currently we hear a lot about the visa process states with US and the way that some schools are not able to, welcome new students because of things that are currently happening there. So I was wondering, based on these situations, and your point of view as someone working at the US Embassy, what do you think like the process will be looking like? Would there be some kind of effect on our process? Or would we still be applying for the F1? Or is there like some changes that could be happening that could affect our applications? And if yes, what are the suggestions that you are giving to us?
It's a great question. So yes, absolutely. Students are still applying for F1 visas. I know there's a lot in the news right now, but the one big process change is now applicants for an F1 visa have to list their social media handles, and a social media check is part of the visa interview. So that's the main thing that we're seeing changing, is that you have to make your social media public when you go for your visa interview for a few days, so that the embassy can check your social media as well as have a conversation with you. But that's the main change. But we do expect students are still coming to the US. We still have US universities coming here, and we're really happy to support you with that process.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, I'm so thrilled to have met all of you. I love to see how international your campus is. And thank you for letting us take time to share a little bit of the resources we can share with you if this is something you're interested in. If you follow the Embassy Kigali on social media, you'll see a lot of other opportunities that come up. They do help with short-term exchange. They help with grants. There's a bunch of other things that the embassy can do for all of you. I only work with Education USA, but their portfolio is much broader. So I encourage you to follow us on social media. We do virtual college fairs every year where you can meet with over 150 US institutions. And when US representatives come, we try to make sure you know in case you want to meet with them in person. So good luck with your studies. Good luck with your long holiday for those of you who are here in Rwanda. I'm excited for all of you and a little jealous. I wish I had that time off too. But I'm encouraged meeting engaging young people like all of you. So best of luck with your studies, and do reach out to Louis Pascal or to your respective EduSA advisor if you have more questions. And if there is any questions like the ones I see on the screen, we can answer those by email as well. So don't worry if you have questions that bubble up later or there's ones that weren't asked live, we'll make sure that you get some answers. Yeah. And is there anything that you want to say to wrap up this program, Patrick?
Okay, let's put our hands together for her. I think we are very grateful for this opportunity to hear about the US program education in particular. We will look forward to more collaborations. And of course, as they said, those who are interested and want to hear more will reach out to Pascal, and the conversation will continue from there. So thank you so much. As students, as usual, we are very grateful. If you are not here, we don't have a session. So you are our greatest stakeholder. So thank you for making time. If you want to learn more or you want to contact them, you want to stay in touch, you can reach out to us or use the emails that they share with you, and then the conversation continues. I always want that this is not the end. It is only the beginning of the interaction and the engagement. So please take advantage of it, and let's see how it goes with you and with what you want to do with your life. You have all the solutions for us in Africa, and we look forward to you bringing the solutions through different angles: education, career, entrepreneurship, all of that. So thank you, and wish you all the best.
Hi everyone. So sorry we couldn't get the opportunity for to address all your questions. If you have some more questions, please share them with us and we'll share them with the team. Thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye.